Ahmad and Martinez probably won't see them again this season, by the sounds of things. So it's up to the players that we've got in the squad now, and the young players that obviously get called up. And listen, this time of year especially, you can't get your fitness any higher. So I think it'll be a case of the manager obviously protecting them. Obviously, there's not too much you can do in training at this time of year apart from tactical stuff. And there's a couple of big games coming up, so you need to make sure that we've got everyone available and we don't need to lose any more players, especially in training.
The other frustration seeing the draw is that we would have had another home game. Crystal Palace travel to Fulham in the quarter-final. It's a shame we can't experience another FA Cup match here at Old Trafford this season.
It is so, but listen, we've still got things to look forward to.
Yeah.
I know it's been really bad at times this season, but we're still in Europa. We've got two important games in that league, in that cup in the next 2 weeks. We can still push higher in the league. There's still things to focus on, and that's what we've got to do now. We've just got to put everything into it.
And that's how quickly football can change, isn't it? Because we could still end up having a good season if now, and it's a big if, but we know they're capable of it, our players. If we go deep into the competition in the Europa League and go and win it, which secures Champions League football as well. I mean, it's a tall task, but Spurs, Roma, sides like this, Real Sociedad, Athletic Bilbao, Alkmaar look decent. Some good sides left, but no one should be fearful of.
No, absolutely not. And I think that's a little bit of the frustration from obviously the game today of going out of the FA Cup. You look at the obviously draw and you obviously get excited. You probably get excited seeing who you'd have got and the teams left in it. You obviously got a chance of going on to win it again, but in terms of the Europa, there's certainly teams there that we don't need to fear. We just need to, I'd say, start putting our chances away, especially at home at Old Trafford. We need to bring that fear factor and taking the game to teams again. And it's just about obviously getting the players back on the pitch, getting them ready for Thursday night, because it's a really important game.
Yeah, we'll try and
make sure they train well, train as hard as they can, and make an impact. And as we've seen tonight, the manager will give you an opportunity to play. He's not scared of that.
No, I mean, we were almost shouting for a penalty towards the end of regular times. Remember, Chido Obi got into a bit of a tussle, just flashed a shot across, desperately wanted to score, and we stood up, didn't we, thinking it was going to be a winning goal. Had he gone down, it might have asked a question.
Yeah, maybe, but listen, he's just thinking about the goal. It's one of this is a young lad. We know what he can do from the under-23s, and he'll get more opportunities. And at times he could have been a little bit calmer, but you can't fault him. He was in some good spaces. He did some good play. Good strength at times as well. And you're just looking to him to progress now, for future games.
The goal we conceded, a set piece again, it's been a bit of an Achilles heel for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit poor again, soft in defending. I think obviously the first contact, sometimes you can't do anything about the first one, but the second one you have to make sure you're picking men up. And there's far too many times this season where we've been caught in set piece areas, whether it's from corners or free kicks. And it's funny because obviously before the game we do a lot of work. Obviously we're in the warm-up and doing the set pieces and stuff, and we just can't put it into practice, into games. I think over the course of a season we've probably conceded far too many goals from them situations.
Our goal was scored by Bruno. You dread to think where we'd be without our talismanic captain, because he was everywhere again tonight. I'm just so impressed with his stamina, his fitness levels.
Yeah, I think we know about his fitness. His top end of the scale. He gets himself about it, gets us a goal. He does put in great performances, and today it was tough at times, I think, for everyone. When we couldn't get the ball moving, we couldn't really get it up the pitch. I think Garnacho changed it a little bit as well.
At least he got at people a bit, didn't he?
Touching on that, I think Casemiro brought a bit of calmness when he come on as well. Just find a little pass and touch and find a bit of people talk about his legs and stuff like that, but he's got an intelligent brain and he knows when to calm it down and speed the play up. And I thought he was good today when he come on.
Ultimately, though, what do you think will be the message to the players from the head coach in there?
Listen, it is what it is. I think when it goes to penalties, anything can happen. You've somehow, you've got to remember it, but you've got to put it straight back behind you. We have a very important game in Europa on Thursday, and you've got to be 100% concentrating on that now. Yeah, you can look tonight what you maybe could have done better, and that's the point. You try and improve something. You might watch this game, see what you could have done better, and you make sure you do it better in the next one.
we desperately need some players back, don't we? There's some big matches upcoming. Real Sociedad next, away from home in the Europa League. Arsenal visit Old Trafford after that. The return leg here against the Spanish side, followed by 2 trips to the East Midlands, Leicester City and Nottingham Forest. Again, a tough run of games, Bardo. It was obvious looking at the bench tonight, only naming 7, 2 of them keepers, that this squad is at its bare bones. Let's hope we can start seeing some players back in the fold, because we really do need to up the numbers and get some quality in there as well.
Yeah, we've certainly lost some, obviously, key players throughout the season. Obviously, Martinez, Ahmad in recent weeks, which has been, difficult to accept, because obviously the key parts and players of the team. If you look at that, obviously the fixture list coming up there's some really difficult games. Obviously you go to Sociedad, is going to be a difficult place to go, but if you go there, get a result, take it into obviously a home game against Arsenal, which obviously they're not in the best of form either, and then the competition, what you've got a chance of winning, Sociedad back at home, then all of a sudden the season changes, doesn't it? And you're in fighting position to obviously in the fighting hands of getting some more silverware, I should say. So listen, there's still lots to play for. We've got to finish strong in the league, and like we started the starting point there, it's getting some players back is probably the most important thing for the manager at the minute.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully, well, anyway, we'll get some players back. You can sense the disappointment here. I'm sure wherever you're watching at home as well, you are gutted about losing on penalties. Like the boys say, though, it is a bit of a lottery when you get to that stage. We won the one against Arsenal, lost this one. They'll pick themselves up, no doubt, and go again on Thursday. We're going to take a quick break, get some more reaction from the dressing room. In the meantime, though, Zara's been around the ground. She caught up with Alex Bruce.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I'm in the press box here, and I'm just about to get the thoughts of former United player Alex Bruce. Heartbreaking way to come out of this competition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, to lose on penalties is a nightmare. You feel for the ones who missed the penalty today. Obviously, Lindelof and Xerxes at the end. Fair play to Fulham. They put their penalties away well, and Bernd Leno made a couple of good saves. But yeah, heartbreaking way to go out.
You were doing commentary on the match, so you had a close-up view as to what the performance was like. Where do you think the issues were today?
I just think the failure of creating opportunities. I think in wide areas we didn't create enough. We didn't ask enough questions of Bernd Leno for me. To be fair, the first half I thought was neither side really showed much goal scoring opportunities. As the game went on, towards the end of the 90 minutes, United looked strong, and then towards the end of the first half of extra time, we had a couple of really good opportunities as well, which you were hoping that we were going to take one of them, and unfortunately it just wasn't United's day.
It is a heartbreaking way to come out of this competition, but more so, this is a chance of silverware that is lost. How do you think these players should pick themselves up?
Well, the beauty of being a football player is you've got another opportunity right round the corner. There's a big game, I think, on Thursday, is it, in Europe? So they need to bounce back, they need to recover, get ready to go again, and just concentrate on winning the next match. That's all you can do.
There is always pressure when you play for Manchester United, but how much weight is there on Thursday's game now?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think obviously we know the league position where United currently are is nowhere near where they should be, and where the standards of what this football club's all about. So they need to win as many games in the league between now and the end of the season. And the one little bit of silverware where we can go and get a trophy is obviously in Europe, which is something to be excited about, and fingers crossed they can try and do that.
Fingers crossed. Thank you very much for joining me. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks to Zara, thanks Alex as well. We're trying to kind of find a few positives from it. I mean, whereas at least, despite trailing at half-time again, the team has showed a bit of character to get back into the game, and the goal Bruno scored was a fantastic effort.
Yeah, listen, I don't think we've had a problem with that. I think the problem is letting in goals in first.
Yeah, can we get the first goal in the game?
We've not managed to get the first goal and get us going and get on a good spell. But yeah, we've got no problem getting back into the game. But again, we just need to do a little bit more. It's at that point where when we are creating chances, we've got to put it away. Simple as that. In these games where we get 20 chances, these games when we've had 7. And it's been a lot of up and down, and we just need to get a little bit more consistency with it.
Consistency is definitely key. That's one of the criticisms we've perhaps seen levelled at this team, is we've seen the big performances. We've seen what they're capable of. Can we